Welcome back, guys. It's the KingdomPuzzleKey. We are back at it again with Danganronpa. So, last time a lot happened. Tensions continued to rise in the class after the reveal that Sakura was the spy. Genocide, Jill, and Hina got into a pretty heated argument, which Hina got her attacked. Oh yeah, and Sakura's now dead, which I can only imagine how this is going to go from here. But weirdly enough, it seems like a locked room scenario. Anyways, in this video, we'll be doing the investigation. Oh. I don't know if I should mention this, but from here on out, I'll be doing some editing, which I kind of haven't been doing for these videos, which is why they're so long, so I apologize for that. Anyways, just want to make that known, so let's get back into the madness. And after I don't know how long, I got everyone.
What?
Ah, ogre!
Yes.
Oh, so she's dead, huh?
I see.
Sakura's been killed. I see. As soon as they arrived, Kyoko began.
Just a second.
You heard the announcement just now, right? So you know what this means. Sakura was murdered, and by someone in this very room. Is that what you're going to say?
Huh?
No. Whoever killed her, it's not just someone in this room.
It's your fault.
It's one of you, Hiro, Byakuya, Toko. One of you killed Sakura. What? You're accusing us before we even begun the investigation? I don't need to investigate anything. Because you hated her. You hated the sight of her.
I won't forgive you.
One of you did it. I know it. You know it?
Ba-bum, ba-bum.
Jeez, I didn't know your power level would increase by that much just by getting mad.
What the heck?
What are you doing here?
Come on.
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to hand out my little murder flyer.
It's the Monokuma file.
That's right, the next Monokuma file. And don't get so mad, Miss Asahina, or you're gonna ruin that lewd little face of yours. Now then, with that, Hold on. There's something I want to ask you. Huh? It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura?
Say what?
Huh? Sakura went to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Maybe you and her fought again, and then...
In other words...
Then I killed her. Sorry, not quite. Actually, not even close. That whole thing is totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to a most regrettable end without even getting the chance to finish things with me. Which, thank God for that. It saves me the trouble of having to go through with our little fight. Because even for someone like me, it would have been no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that.
Hey,
I gotta tell you, I was actually pretty worried. I mean, she violated a rule by attacking me in the first place, but I wasn't able to punish her.
well done.
So I don't know who it was, but whoever the Blacken is this time, I owe you one.
What is this?
You owe someone? Oopsie, before you get all pissy-potty at me, you better figure out who did it first.
Shing!
Because, I mean, your lives are all on the line, right? Monokuma is just terrifying at times.
What is this?
What the hell? He owes them one?
I won't forgive you.
I hate him. I hate this whole thing. Hina. I honestly feel bad for her. Like, this is all so traumatizing for her. We've now lost Sakura, and now Hina's pretty much flying off the rails. Well, I, for one, am glad it was Sakura. She was working for the mastermind, after all. How can you say that now? Like, Jesus, Byakuya. She was still our friend. And besides, there's no way she did it with malicious intent. Sorry, I don't have time for your squabbling. The next game has already begun. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura.
Anyway.
Right now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead. Then let's decide who will stand guard this time. I'll do it. Hina? I'm okay. Just let me handle it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura.
That's fine.
Okay then, Hina is guard number 1, but we need one more. Kyoko, that's you.
What?
Me? You're always a thorn in my side. This time, just stand by and watch quietly. Consider that an order. An order? Like, who the H do you think you are, Byakuya?
That's fine.
Fine, I'll stay behind. Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we? Hold on! Before that, there's something I want to say.
What?
Which is... Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, none of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene.
Huh?
What?
It's your fault!
One of you killed Sakura!
I won't forgive you.
I won't let someone like that come anywhere near her.
Stop talking.
Don't be stupid. Our lives are in just as much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate. I don't care what you say. I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura anywhere near her. Even if it means I have to use force, you're not getting in here! Well, it appears further discussion would be a waste of time. How about a compromise?
It's all clear now.
I won't ask you to let all of us in, just let me. What? You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyway.
Yep.
Nope, don't really care. I'd rather spend my time coming up with another splendid fantasy involving Master anyway. And you, Hiro, do you really object? If you're gonna go that far, what can I do? I mean, I don't have anything to hide, so why should I care?
It's all clear now.
Then it's all decided.
What are you saying?
Nothing's decided!
Calm down.
I know how you feel, Hina, but you should agree to his request. But!
Hey,
We have to find out who killed Sakura.
correct.
For those of us still alive, and to honor Sakura's memory. Fine. I guess that's okay. But no matter what, Byakuya, you absolutely aren't allowed to touch her. Naturally, who would want to touch a filthy dead body?
Listen,
That's enough fighting. We need to focus on the investigation from here on out. Everyone, keep this in mind. If we can't uncover Sakura's killer,
listen to me.
all of us face execution. Finding out who killed Sakura. It's not a matter of hoping we can do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's a kind of hopeless hope. We have no choice but to just do it. I'd better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 o'clock noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the third floor of the school. There is evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noticed. However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood.
Hey,
I think the case this time might be a challenge. Why is that?
so...
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through. And that door had been jammed shut with a chair from the inside of the rec room. Which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. So if the door was blocked from the inside, and there was no way in or out until we broke the window, there's like zero escape, right?
In other words...
In other words, this is a classic locked room murder. Locked room murder? I guess you might see this kind of thing in a lot of mystery movies or books or whatever. But could it really happen in real life? And right before our very eyes like this?
Hey,
Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails? Sure, if you don't mind. Well, I mean, I pretty much know what this means. It pretty much means that... Well... Okay, I have no idea what it means.
that's fine.
When you break out this type of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. This simply means that the killer commits a crime, then through some special method, seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches including using a string or a simple mechanism. There are a number of variations. So for that, all we'd have to do is check the door to see if that's what it is, right?
Correct.
The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed. Oh?
In other words...
Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or a tool from the outside to target the victim inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through the gap in the door, something like that.
However...
But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it. Yeah, I think we could properly cross that one off the list.
it's true.
The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up. What do you mean by that?
In other words...
They stay hidden, and when the door is open, they use the confusion to blend in within the group. They pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's that. That sounds like it could have been possible. Maybe.
it's true.
And the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all. Not a locked room?
In other words...
By that I mean, there is actually an alternate escape route somewhere within the room. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality, it's generally not possible. Then you think we can cross that one off too?
Indeed.
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics. So there are 4 possibilities. Then Kyoko, which of those 4 choices seems to most likely fit in this case?
It's true.
That's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. But right now, I can't really say. I see. The way the killer set up the locked room. Until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. It looks like some kind of wrapper. Huh? That's... Do you recognize it, Hina?
Well...
Well, yeah, I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little. So you gave that candy to Sakura. I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really liked them. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. You really like them that much?
I mean...
But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now, they've lost all their flavor. Hina. Polka dot candy wrapper. There are shards of glass scattered around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? So this must have originally been a bottle. Huh? There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. What the? Wait, now hold on a sec. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. And inside each bottle, there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is, how'd they get those figures inside the bottles?
So...
It's no different from your standard chip in a bottle. Huh? You know where there's bottles opening is smaller than the boat placed inside? You've never seen that? Oh yeah, maybe I have.
In other words...
So this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. Intriguing. Wait a sec. There are 2 pieces missing. The king and the knight. We already found the knight figure. So that means 2 bottles must have broke. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things, little by little. The Monokuma's bottle sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The red shards of glass, which probably started out as a bottle. Which would mean Sakura must have been head to head with a Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of glass in the Monokuma figure are evidence of that. So I think it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. Huh? The locker's open. And there on the inside, it's a handprint?
Why?
What's a handprint doing there? It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker and it left a handprint in all the dust.
It's true.
And it looks fresh too. I'd say someone was hiding in here in the locker and he left behind a little something extra. So then, maybe the killer hid in there until the locker room was open, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group.
Wrong.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Huh? Why not?
Hey.
Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Oh yeah, and the locker was already open at that point.
Indeed.
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. Yeah, so then, what does this handprint mean? Alright, the locker handprint has been added. There's a blood stain in front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance of the room.
So...
It looks like a protein drink, and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. And she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments.
Wrong.
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can... It's got a label on it that says Chem A-2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the chem lab had all kinds of health stuff, so she must have gotten this from the chem lab.
Just a second.
But that's strange. Huh? What is?
Hey,
You see what's scattered around the can? Shards of light blue glass. They must be parts of the window I broke to get inside.
correct.
But they aren't just scattered around the can, they're also underneath it. Why does that matter?
So,
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. Ah, so you're saying it was planted just as we came in? Ooh, I bet that's the case. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on. An important clue? I'm not sure I see how. But it's added to the truth bullets. Alright, so... what's left to explore here? The victim's body, of course. Sakura drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of a blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally I wouldn't have any problem believing that's what killed her. But according to the Monokuma file, she had also vomited blood. And I could see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. So what could have caused her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. The status of Sakura's body. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood? Not a chance. Byakuya?
That's fine.
However, your eyes have landed on the most interesting location. Interesting?
Naturally.
Yes, most interesting, don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. Oh yeah, we've already went over that. Yeah, we've already seen that. Let's try and get everyone's account.
what the heck?
We already know who did it.
I won't forgive you.
Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It had to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. I mean, to be fair, with how many people are left, I can definitely see where Hina's coming from. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. I'm sorry, what? What? After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually, she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me. She said she left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon? The Monokuma file said she died right around then. I'm telling you the truth. I heard it right from Sakura herself. And I tried to stop her. But she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I stopped her, by force even, this never would have happened. Hina. It's impossible not to have a regret, I know. Poor Hina. She's the one suffering the most from all of this. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying, It might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly.
What?
What do you want? You're bothering me. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out? Interesting. Then it's true. I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? So you didn't go to see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all. Byakuya says he didn't go to see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
Come on.
If you're at all finished, please remove yourself from my sight. Okay, jeez. Okay, thanks. Alright, so we got Byakuya's account. Let's see what Kyoko has to say.
However,
But for Sakura to have been killed, yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
it's true. And
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder. Did someone get the upper hand? They must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly.
Certainly. They would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her. Yeah. The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it. Alright, so... there has to be more to this story. That's the same shelf full of magazines. There's all different kinds of magazines here. It's around 1 o'clock right now. According to the Monokuma file, Sakura died around 12 noon. So roughly an hour ago. Was that when Kyoko and I were moving Alter Ego? This door is the only way in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only noticeable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened of course when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. And there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked door from the inside, not from the outside.
Listen.
Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so, for the most part.
So then,
I think you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
listen to me.
Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place. She decided? She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our little issue. But she's right. I have to go talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I need to hear what they have to say. Where is... What the... Those other two probably went back to their rooms. Alrighty, so... Nope. 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 Ah, Toko. I pressed the doorbell, and after a few seconds... Huh? Who's there? Oh. Ah, get the most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
Well, what do you want?
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood, too.
She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall.
What do you want?
You said you wanted to talk to me about something? I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you. What?
Well...
I don't know what you're talking about. Byakuya already told me she had asked to meet with him. What? She wanted to meet with Master too? What? I just said two, didn't I? I guess it's totally obvious now, huh? Yeah, pretty much. So, can you tell me about it? I admit it, I did get the note, but I didn't go to see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Toko claims she didn't go see her, but can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Is that good enough? Then I'm going back to my room. With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. Alrighty, Toko's account has been added. Next up is Hiro. Here we are. I pressed the doorbell. And after a few seconds...
You know?
What's up, Makoto? Did you need something? Yeah, actually, I just wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you.
What?
How did you know about that?
Could it be?
Did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself that she had asked Byakuya and Toko to come too. What? When did Sakura tell you that?
What?
Oh, well... When she asked me to meet with her, of course. But didn't she write you a note? Yeah, a note. She,
How about that?
She gave it to me in person. She's happened to mention the others, like in passing. I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. So that you went and met with Sakura.
You got it all wrong.
No way, I totally did it. Why would I ever do that? Yeah, definitely suspicious.
Actually,
The last time I saw Ogre was when Hina got hurt and I took her to the nurse's office.
don't look at me.
I haven't seen her since then. While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you? Do I still have it? Let's see. Hiro was feeling around in his pockets.
Hey, come on.
Ah, sorry, looks like I don't have it anymore. Yep, definitely fishy. With a big goofy smile on his face, he pulls his hands back out of his pockets. But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hiro's pocket. Huh? Ah! It's a polka dot candy wrapper.
What?
As quick as the wind, Hiro snatched it up back again and shoved it back into his pocket.
Hey, come on.
Sorry, just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out. Trash?
What?
Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked to meet with me, but I never went. So, well, if you'll excuse me. Before waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room. Hiro said that was just trash, but there's no way that's all there was to it. Alright. Okay, so I've heard from Toko and Hiro. What next? I'll definitely have to look at the crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I should find out more about the protein can we found on the floor of the rec room. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab. So where should I start? Alright. 1, 2, 3. Alrighty. Chem lab, here we come. Makoto, did you have your eye on the chem lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way. Yeah, I got it. I think what you meant to say was, yes sir, I understand. This isn't my first time seeing this shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look at it. It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. But more important right now, what's that powder that's been slipped in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. These are footprints. And they're only in front of the left shelf. How do these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan. By we, do you mean me? How kind of you to offer. With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and pen.
What?
Well, let's go. Shut up. Chop chop. Okay. So I got to work, and before long, I've drawn up a sketch of the room. So how's this? Not bad. For you, I mean. For me...
I see.
So when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business at the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to do, and then left. That's what the footprints tell me.
I see.
These footprints must be...
It's certainly possible.
Makoto, are they yours? No, what?
What?
Okay then, let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself. I couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said. I see. Your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints. Unfortunately... But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who do they belong to. Then these prints are really a valuable clue. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? It looks like the bottle had a label on it. ChemC-4. Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning, checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this. Then this powder must have been spilled.
So in other words,
That's right. It could have only been around the time of the incident. If that's really is when it happened, it must be related to the case somehow. Source of the powder. If you lay out these footprints, it looks like this. And when you look at the pattern, whoever left behind went to the shelf on the left, and that's it. They went straight there, did something, and then left. That's according to the footprints anyway. These prints are really clear, so it shouldn't be too hard to figure out whose they are. Which means these footprints are a super valuable clue. Yet they aren't being added to my notes. On this shelf is one look and I can't tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. These look like poisons and other powerful chemicals. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter C as a number. So I guess I consider this part of the shelving unit section C. So on this shelf it looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are. They are reagents. Put simply, they're used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived such an ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss. Isn't that kind of harsh?
what?
What, you think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world?
That's fine.
The words of a lifelong loser, which I suppose suits you well. Like, dude! I didn't even say that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Right now, we need to focus on the shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter B, and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit section B. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here. In which case, I don't have to worry about too much about the shelf. Sorry. Let's see, what's going on with this shelf? There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit section A. Huh? But wait! There's one bottle here that's labeled C9. Could someone have put it there on accident? I should try to find out more about the shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections. Section A has dietary supplements, Section B has reagents, and Section C has lethal chemicals. Sakura must have gotten the protein powder from Section A. But what concerns me is that in Section A, there was a bottle with a label from Section C. What was a bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on there. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I'd better not leave a footprint. I should probably take a good hard look at that powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the front floor in front of the shelf. There's also the remains of a broken bottle. It looks like the bottle was labeled ChemC-4. Also, it looks like someone left footprints in the powder. Based on the positioning of the prints, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. According to Byakuya, the powder would also have to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now. I've already taken a good look at the chem lab. Maybe I should take another look around the rec room. Alright, let's try it again. Alrighty.
Hey,
So, Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kyoko what Toko and Hiro had told me.
I see.
I see, so along with Byakuya, they're both claiming they didn't go see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be lying. Someone's lying? Of course they are.
Anyway,
Well, I've made some progress of my own. Sakura's body, the shelf of the magazines, and the Monokuma bottles. These three things have revealed new clues. You do well to look them over one more time. According to Kyoko, there's still something to be discovered from Sakura's body.
just a second.
Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure anything out. Well, yeah, I know that, but
Hey,
don't you think you might need to actually examine the body? There's no getting around it. Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. Although, there are still some times. I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
it's true.
That's totally normal. Then how can you...
So,
I imagine it's because I have had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. What? Sorry, never mind.
hey,
More importantly, look here. Her shoes?
correct.
You see that yellow powder on her instep? Yeah, it really stands out.
I see.
That powder is clue number 1.
Hey,
Next is the wound to her head. Look carefully.
it's true.
Actually, even telling you that, it's incredibly difficult to spot, so just let me explain.
It would seem...
It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head. 2 blows?
Indeed.
Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing.
Correct.
Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
It's true.
So that's what I learned from examining her body in detail. I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off. Next up is the Monokuma bottles. I think Kyoko said she'd found a new clue involving the Monokuma bottles. Something new, something new.
Hey,
So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all the bottles. Pay careful attention and I'm sure you'll find it. A correlation. Hey Kyoko, can't you just tell me what it is?
so...
I don't mind guiding you towards clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come to their own conclusions, so that everyone can have the confidence in the outcome. It's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer? I do trust you, to a degree. Otherwise, I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with. Only to a degree? Yeah, it's the chess piece order. Pawn, rook, knight, bishop, king, queen.
Hey,
Actually, there's one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that's bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right? An experiment?
anyway...
Can you gather up all the pieces of the broken Monokuma bottle? try to get the smaller pieces too. Huh? Are you sure it's okay to mess with the crime scene like that?
That doesn't matter.
I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Byakuya is not here, so...
So then,
Anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up all the glass. With that, Kyoko left the room. I really don't know what this is about, but what choice do I have? I'd better just do it. I took the broom and dustbin and got to work collecting all the broken bottle pieces. And just as I had finished up, sorry to keep you waiting.
so then,
Is everything ready? Then let's get to work. So what kind of experiment are we doing?
in other words,
I got a scale from the chem lab. We're going to use it to compare weights. Compare the weights of what? The pieces of glass you collected and one of the Monokuma bottles that's still intact. Why would you want to do that? That's the point of the experiment. It'll make sense when we're done.
listen.
First, let's compare the weight of the two of the normal Monokuma bottles. It's balanced,
In other words,
which means each Monokuma bottle weighs about the same. Which makes sense. The Monokuma figures inside are basically the same, and nothing else could really affect the weight.
so then,
Now here comes the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now what might we expect to see? Well, the normal assumption would be either they'll balance out or the pieces I collected will be lighter. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I could have missed some here and there.
so then,
Okay, then let's give it a try. Huh? The broken pieces are heavier? How's that possible?
I knew it.
Just as I thought. What?
In other words,
The result of our experiment and the correlation between each of the bottles, put it all together,
hey,
and I believe you will arrive at one very persuasive conclusion. So what do you think? It's all on you. Monokuma bottle experiment. Kyoko said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. Clue. Huh? This magazine is upside down. Did someone put it back in that way on accident?
hey,
If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think? Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. This is... On one of the pages near the center of the magazine, the word had been written in bold, bloody letters. Sorry. Leaders. And it said, Toko. Oh no. Could this be a dying message?
correct.
Then it would appear you found it. Kyoko, is this?
So,
It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it. A dying message.
however,
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it for the benefit of others who might come looking. Hey, is that... That says Toko, right? Yeah, looks like it. Then she's the killer, right? Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet.
I won't forgive you.
It's settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer. I could see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that much more suspicious. Alright, that's been added.
Whoops! You caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring I couldn't stay awake.
Jeez, Monokuma, could you be any more blunt?
Should I do it? Is it okay? Can I?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, then let's begin the class trial. You know where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
It's already time? But the mystery of the locked room is only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial. No! Not whatever happens. I have to make something happen. Alright. Moment of truth time. Monokuma made his announcement, and everyone began to meet up one after another. Looking at how empty this is, it's honestly quite tragic. And then, the ultimate martial artist! A locked room murder mystery!
What?
What the? Oh, I've just recently discovered the power of emoticons! Like, no matter how awful something is, if you toss in a smiley face, it turns positive!
Yes, indeed.
For example, you're at a picnic and you find a dead body! This is just plain creepy. For once, Hero, I 100% agree with you. This is effed up on so many levels.
Well?
And how about the reverse? No matter how great something is, if you put a sad face, it makes it look super negative.
Yes, indeed.
For example, do you have 100 friends? He's right. That does make it seem sad.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
Now then, please get on the elevator. I'll see you all down there. What the hell was that? I don't get it.
Just the words.
I don't get you guys. How can you act so casual after murdering someone?
Don't look at me.
I don't think I'm acting casual.
Don't be mean.
I mean, I didn't murder anyone.
What the heck?
Yeah, I'm completely innocent. How dare you call me a murderer?
What the heck?
Whatever. Either way, the truth will be revealed soon enough. Because there could be no doubt, one of us is the culprit. The killer. The one that murdered Sakura. She was stronger than anyone I knew. And yet, someone killed her. And that person is here. That person is one of us. Come on, it's time to put an end to this. I made my way towards the elevator. But with each step I took, I felt like I was moving further and further away from my goal. I could feel a chilling fear running through me, trying to make me rot from the inside out. No matter how many times I go through this, it never gets any easier. We climbed into our steel prison in total silence. We watched the door close and felt it begin its sinister descent. The elevator lowered, uttering its all too familiar clunking sounds. It felt lower and lower, and as suddenly as always, the ride was over. The doors opened once again. Just the 6 of you? Huh? Really? That's so few. You must be so lonely. You say that like it's not your fault we're all that's left. I wonder, will the class trial end with one less classmate again? Or will your school life come to an end completely? Now then, are we ready to begin? You know the drill. Find your assigned seats. And so, the curtain opened for the 4th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. a deadly class trial. And that's where we'll end for today, folks. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do check out all 22 of my other parts in this series. And as always, this is the Kingdom Puzzle Key, signing off!